Who doesn't love Vin Diesel? Because let's face it, that's probably the reason why you're watching this movie. The Last Witch Hunter is a 21st century fantasy action film of Vin Diesel hunting down evil witches. It's as simple as that. Now the movie actually starts off pretty promising. I'd say it's the best segment in the film easily. We watch as a group of witch hunters are travelling on the hunt to defeat an evil witch queen, who has been devastating towns and populations by spreading the Black Plague. Her domain resides within a massive tree, which actually does give us a few visually impressive moments. The Witch Queen herself is by far one of the coolest effects in the film. Her makeup and practical effects were good, they were alright. And in terms of CGI, hers is the best by far. Elsewhere, it's a little over the top. The Witch Queen begins to pick off each of the hunters one by one, whilst Calder, Vin Diesel's character, continues to push forward. He escapes multiple traps, tricks and ambushes before finally coming out victorious. He had defeated the Witch Queen, but not before she had the chance to cast a final curse on him. He had to suffer the curse of immortality. And that there is basically the story for the film. We jump into the present in current time New York, where Calder still resides as a witch hunter. Times have changed though, there's no longer a war between the witches and the humans. It's only those who practice witchcraft for evil that invite Calder's shotgun and swords to their doorstep. Now the film is kind of two halves. The first is more of a crime investigation as Calder seeks to find out the truth about what happened to his close friend. And the second half, he's on the hunt to finally destroy the Witch Queen's evil for good. Yep, surprise surprise, after spending a good chunk of the film looking to find a memory into seeking the truth of his past, it is shown that one of his fellow hunters decided to keep the Witch Queen's heart beating. And now she's back, the plague and her evil are intent on rising again. Honestly, the movie's got kind of a feel of Keanu Reeves' Constantine about it. It's effectively Riddick, Ygritte, Alfred and Frodo against the witches of evil. Well, now won't that make for an interesting team? The film's cast is clearly the strongest part of the film. The always likeable Vin Diesel plays our main character. He's just such a great screen presence and a super cool actor. I mean, let's face it, the guy doesn't have a huge amount of range, but he's still fun to watch in this movie. He's how he always is in his films, hardened, straight to the point, and with his usual gritted voice. It's not a bad thing, it's just something you come to expect from him. Now Diesel's supporting cast are his two sidekicks in Rose Leslie's good witch Chloe and Elijah Woods' priest. Both respectively fared fine in the movie as well. I mean, I wouldn't say there were any overall bad performances. Rose Leslie's character was fiery and a little arrogant, much like her role she played on Game of Thrones, where Elijah Wood is a lot more reserved, seeking to learn from Calder's witch hunting past. It's not till his double cross at the end of the film when his true colours come to surface. As soon as they do, mind you, the Witch Queen snuffs the life out of him in a flash, which I admit was pretty funny. How often in these sort of films do you see someone backstab our hero to side with the villain, only then for the villain to turn around and kill them instantly? Well, it was a tick off the good old cliché book at least. Elijah's character was set to be taking over the role vacated by Michael Caine, who was retiring as Calder's current handler. Quite honestly, he's there collecting a paycheck. You know he knew what he was doing when he signed up for the film. Either way, his character played a key role in the story, even when they tried to trick you into thinking his character fell victim to one of the classic movie tropes. They had him say some last final words of wisdom, and then seemingly killed him off. The film actually deserves a bit of credit there, it actually flips the usual formula. He's still alive, and Calder spends most of the film, in all honesty, or at least that's what it felt like, in trying to find a way to save his friend. A villain pops up from time to time going by the name of Belial, but in honest truth he was pretty forgetful, and he was killed off about 2/3 of the way through the film. Oh hey look, it's Kurt Angle. Now in terms of action, there's a couple of essentially what feel like boss battles, especially towards the end of the film. Calder goes up against the sentinel that's been keeping guard of the witches that he's captured for over all of these years, but none of them really compared to the big bad herself in the Witch Queen. my overall verdict for The Last Witch Hunter is a 5 out of 10. If you're really into this sort of thing, you might be able to push it up to a 6. But for me, I'm sticking right down the middle with a 5 out of 10. Heck, I enjoyed this movie. It's your quintessential hero is the only man able to stop a rising evil. In this case, witches. Evil witch curses one of the hero's best friends, and hero spends the film tracking down a way to save his friend and destroy that evil for good. It's a premise which has been visited plenty of times throughout cinema history, so it's nothing original, and I was fine with that. It's not something that I'm chomping at the bit to watch again anytime soon, but it was okay. The casting was clearly its strongest point, and that alone probably sold it plenty of tickets. And having the always enjoyable Vin Diesel alongside the likes of Michael Caine, Elijah Wood and Rose Leslie gave the film a strong look. I just felt that the film had so many missed opportunities along its way, and it was a little rushed, which disrupted the film's flow. There's also really not much tension or drama, and you don't really feel attached to any of the characters. The practical effects and makeup, especially on the Witch Queen, made up in partial for that and were very well done. It's just where the CGI came in, a lot of the time it was overused or oversaturated. It's nothing exceptional, it's nothing original, but it's an enjoyable supernatural fantasy movie that if you like Vin Diesel or this type of film in general, you'll probably enjoy it. And there is nothing wrong with that. So if you guys have seen the film, what did you think of it? Let me know down in the comments. As always, thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed the review, and I'll see you on the next one.